Well, hello, and welcome to the Points of Interest podcast. This is the most generic podcast on the internet. My name is Josh Hawks. I am the 303 Ninja. And right over there, he is my podcasting partner for life. He is the other guy. It's Mr. Francis Fernandez.
Bonus Nachos, their most generic or leader of this podcast.
I don't know any French. Escargot.
Escargot. Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir?
Spa Francorchamps.
So, would you like to thank the new follow for today? Because I don't know who they are.
I don't know how to say their name totally, but I'm going to try. Obscure Sanny. Obscure Sanny 44. Thanks for the follow.
Yeah.
Come join us. Much. Say hi.
Say hello.
Say hello, damn it. What's going on, man?
Not too much. It's been a nice and quiet a week as we barrel out of summertime. Now that we're in freaking August already, Jesus Christ, we're only a few months away from Christmas.
Why you just gotta go and just line up the kick right away. Just remind me that, yes, it's hot and I can't stand the heat sometimes. It's so hot, but damn it, I hate the cold.
Year's almost up already. Like year barely started and the year's already almost up. Like almost like done, and it's freaking me out. But that does mean that maybe we'll get more cool robots delivering us food, stuff like that as a result, because we're stuck indoors from all the rain and of all the snow. I'd love to see those things, little robot car things, go through the snow to get you your food. Your hot.
I mean, it's not snowing now. It's fucking.
I know.
It's August. I mean, it's already snowed in some parts of the state, but
sometimes it's storming, or it's you guys still have thunderstorms. You guys still have like all sorts of stuff. So, yeah, I'm glad I live where I live. The only reason why anyone ever comes to this state is because the weather is like nice 90% of the time, 90% of the year.
Well, if they're standing anywhere around the Universal Studios lot, they're not going to get any shade around there.
Well, they already got fined for that. Or like $200 or whatever.
Yeah. So people that don't know, I guess at first they thought there was some sort of prank that happened, but all the trees standing around the Universal Studios lot, I guess, were all trimmed way back. So they offered zero shade. And I saw a tweet or a zeet or whatever we're calling it nowadays.
Apparently it's just a post now. Even though that doesn't tell you where you're posting from, but they're called posts instead of tweets.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever. Saying that it was Universal that went out there and did it themselves. Hired somebody to go do it themselves. I'm just like, wow, that's petty as hell.
I mean, they're getting there. They're getting closer and closer to like really just screwing over actors and writers, because I don't know. It feels different this time. You know what I mean? Like, it feels different.
Mm-hmm. Oh, totally. Before it was just like, and I was not very well educated in that writer strike at all. So I'll just be ignorant in the whole thing. But it just sounded like, we want more money and we're striking. And it was, you look back at the strikes, writer strikes of TV, and it's like, oh, seems to happen every 15-ish years or so. Must be when contracts end or expire or coming up in the next few years. And I don't know if that's the case or not, but it's just it's odd that this one has gone. Has this already gone longer than the one that killed Heroes and Chuck?
No.
And the island, the one about the island?
Lost.
Yep.
It lasted. I think this one is, because it's funny. I'm listening to an old podcast from 2008. I'm listening to old episodes, and they're talking about that current writer's strike, and it lasted want to say 7 or 8 months. Like almost lasted an entire year.
Okay.
And this one has been going on for about 3 or 4 months so far. So
Okay.
it still has a ways to go.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, it's funny that you mentioned that because I have watched old episodes of Attack of the Show
Oh yeah.
around that same time period, and they're all talking about around the 2008, 2009 period, where they're all talking about the writer's strike and how's it going to affect, the current, crop of the current at the time crop of TV and what that means for the Watchmen. That was the big topic on one of them. Is it going to delay the Watchmen coming out at the time? And I was like, oh, I remember this. I don't specifically remember the episode, but I remember this, the hoopla of, is this movie ever even going to come out? And me the whole time going, who the fuck are the Watchmen?
Well,
why is there a steampunk Batman in this movie? I don't get it.
I love it. I love that was like I love that Zack Snyder continues to have his finger on the pulse because now there's still Zack Snyder's discourse because of Justice League and not Justice League but just like bring back the old DCU. Forget who cares about the old DCU. But,
not speaking of the DCU, but of the MCU. I actually just yesterday saw Spider-Man Can't Go Home or
No Way Home.
That's it.
The one.
The newest one. The newest one. The No Way Home.
Newest one from like 6 months ago. That newest one.
No, not the animated one.
No, 6 months. The live action one was like 6 months ago.
No Way Home.
Yeah.
With the other two, spider dudes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Well, everybody else has seen it. I hadn't.
What'd you think?
It was fun as hell.
Oh, good.
On Prime, there was the extended version.
Yes.
Which I have no idea what scenes were extended. There was a couple scenes when I was watching, I was like, this is kind of going on a little while. Or, what the fuck does this have to do with the rest of the movie? So I don't know if any of those were extended scenes or not, because I have no reference point. But
they did,
there was at the very beginning, there's like a Zoom call between the three Spider-Men. And I think it's Toby that says, I've been waiting 6 months to say this. I love, and he and the current Spider guy were like, we love you. And I was just like, I have no context to this.
Oh, is it?
But Garfield says it in the movie to those two guys. He's like, hey, I love you guys. And they're just right.
They did it in Zoom, which means it was done during the pandemic, I'm guessing.
Possibly, yeah.
Right, because they didn't do it in person, which is so strange. But yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was great. It was awesome seeing all the villains from all the old movies come back. What's his face? William Dafoe just acts his ass off in everything he's in. He should be awarded everything. I don't know what those awards are for movie people, but he should get one for just being awesome.
Yeah, an Oscar maybe, or yeah, I get you. I understand. Yeah, they should get an Oscar, get a anything. He should get all the Golden Globe.
Fucking a pat on the back, fucking nice firm handshake. I mean, fucking package of Oreos. That guy acts his ass off.
He does. I mean, I liked Alfred Molina in it. It was nice to see him
as well. Yeah. I mean, everybody in that movie is a great actor. Yeah. But
I think they didn't have enough scenes though. The others, those two, I think, get the best scenes, and then the other three don't get much.
Right.
Unfortunately.
I forgot who not Jamie Foxx, the Sandman guy was anyway.
Hayden Christian Church? No, Hayden something like that.
No.
I don't know.
Yeah. See, man, sounded like Ron Perlman.
He doesn't do a lot of big movies. He's a big indie movie guy. So when he does Thomas Hayden Christensen, no, I don't remember his name. Anyway,
Doesn't matter.
but yeah, he doesn't do a lot of big shows, a lot of big movies.
Someone who else might not be doing any big movies pretty soon, based on his recent comments, I guess. The guy that made my fucking asshole pucker when I asked him a question at Comic-Con, Stephen Amell. Apparently he thinks that this writer's strike is stupid, I believe is the words he said.
Right.
Or dumb or stupid. I don't recall which one it was.
He doesn't. He's just not. He doesn't think it does any good doing the strike. Now, mind you, he has a show out right now, which part of me just feels like he's trying to promote heels, because it's new season just started. So this is his way of like any publicity is good publicity. So he's just like, I'm going to say something that I know all of my friends and coworkers would hate me to say, but at least it'll give me attention. It'll give the show attention.
Right.
And people will be interested in watching.
An agent person that I know said something to the effect of, the guy that said the conventions made his pockets full might find it hard getting booked at shows because of this now.
I mean, we have. I feel like we have short attention spans. I think Stephen Amell is big enough to where like no one's really going to care that much in the end. Especially when this is over, like when the whole strike is over, who's going to care? Because everyone's going to get their money, right? No one's gonna look back and be like, what?
I mean,
what did he say?
Oh yeah, him specifically. I think.
Yeah.
As far as the strike goes, I think that there'll be some pretty big changes that come out of it, regardless of which side comes out on top. Dink dink.
Yeah. I mean, I saw. This is what's scary is I saw somebody who obviously has no love for writers and actors. They did a full 30-second trailer using only AI for a movie. Now, mind you, there was no dialogue. There was no voiceover. It was all like written word stuff. But it looked amazing. It looked really good. And I was like, oh, I would watch this movie. I mean, as long as there's people talking, I would watch this movie.
Right.
Like,
we go back to fucking silent movies.
I mean, that's kind of what that's what they're saying about AI. It's like we're in the silent movie era of AI because AI can't talk yet.
Or do hands very well.
They do. They could do it.
Look at AI art. Look at AI art, man. The AI art cannot do a hand properly at all.
Sometimes it can't do a hand. A lot of
it does great at cleavage.
I guess so. I haven't seen a lot of those, but yeah, I've seen
I've seen all kinds of different AI art. I'm just saying, like,
no, that's true. I've seen the ones that I've seen that are like super like realistic. Those are pretty cool. But that's again where I'm like, beginning, you don't really see the hands. Like they always try to make the hands not go away, but their faces look like this could be a real person. Like I could see this being a person. And when I saw the trailer movement, I'm like, it's like this close from looking like a real person, like so close. So, but yeah,
I mean, do you remember when we all said that in the Final Fantasy Dreams Within or whatever the fuck that movie was called came out?
Within.
See, I was close.
Yeah.
And that one that looks like Ben Affleck, everybody was like, "Holy shit! Look at all the detail."
I think it was voiced by. Wasn't it voiced by Ben Affleck?
I think it was. I think it was actually.
He was voiced. Yeah. Well, the girl, I forget her name. She was the cover girl for Maxim magazine that year. For that month. So, but she looked animated. So it wasn't, but yeah, or FHM. It might have been FHM.
The inferior version.
Yeah, For Him magazine.
Yeah,
Maxim.
that was Maxim was the go-to.
Well, it was whether you got your Game Informer or your EGM, right? That was the difference.
Well, yeah, well, I mean, Game Informer is an in-house magazine for
Or
GameStop.
GameStop, yeah.
So, like, it was just full of ads to go into GameStop. The whole magazine was, it was
Okay,
all.
yeah.
At least
Okay.
EGM was, quote unquote, a neutral body that just reported on shit.
That's
Like,
true.
I wonder what Sushi X is up to these days.
I don't know. There's been a lot of like controversies I know nothing about. Like, there's really popular YouTube shows I've never heard of before that are like in super big controversy right now.
Hmm.
And I'm like, I don't know who you are. Have you ever heard of Super Mega? I've never heard of Super Mega.
Never heard of Super Mega. Nope.
Okay.
Like,
And they're like,
Mr. Beast keeps popping up, but I actually don't know who the hell Mr. Beast actually is. There's like somebody on his team that has some controversy for
yeah.
whatever. I don't even know. I just know that there's like some sort of controversy with somebody on their team. I just saw actually today that the fucking the Beast guy himself apparently is suing the people that made his shitty food.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah, like that's hilarious.
Like,
because
did you not check the fucking company you hired to make the food first?
he makes these stupid videos. He's a millionaire, maybe even a billionaire YouTuber. He made his money doing YouTube videos, which I hate, which makes me angry that's how he
Sure.
makes millions. Because it's like, oh, he's one of those guys. Anyway, and he just looks pretentious. Like, he has such a punchable face. Like, I just hate the guy just by looking at him, even though he's probably nice. And I think he gave I think a couple years ago during the pandemic, he was giving money to people randomly. He was just like, here, I'm going to do little weird contests on Twitter, and then if you win, you get my money. So he's nice. He's whatever. But he has like a candy bar that he made Gordon Ramsay eat his candy bar and asked him
That
what he
sounds
thought
dirty.
about it. Right. Well, yeah. No, it was dirty because Gordon Ramsay just called it like the worst thing he's ever eaten. So like, it's really funny that this guy who's trying to market himself and like make stuff because he has a name that kids know. He does the burgers, he does the candy, the chocolate. He's like, people are just gonna buy my stuff because it has my name on it. That's how popular I am. And then it's like awful, crappy
Right.
stuff, and it's like, oh, well, never mind then. So yeah, because you're an idiot. You don't know what you're doing. You're just putting your name to stuff because you have nothing better to do because you have all of this free time.
Right. We've spoken about this guy before, but since we're talking about popular and probably rich YouTuber guys,
Yeah.
the Adam the Woo guy,
Oh, the Woo. Yeah, the Woo.
he was here in Colorado recently and did the Casa Bonita thing with his whole family. But
Okay.
which I didn't watch because I want it to all be a surprise.
Yes.
I'm actually going this Thursday
Okay.
for a work
Enjoy.
function. It's a work function, so I don't know how much fun it's actually going to be. I'm going to bring a bottle of Benadryl with me just in case, for allergy reasons. But I already know I could film everywhere except for the puppet show and the arcade.
Oh, the arcade. Interesting.
You could film everything else though. So I might wander off, especially if the food's poisonous to me. I might wander off and see if I can find all the stuff and find man bear pig. That isn't a man bear pig; it's a gorilla, but it's a man bear pig. But the reason why I brought it up, I just saw a video. I believe it was yesterday. Remember the movie Vacation, the original Vacation?
Right. Yes.
There's a couple scenes that happen in Colorado that were actually filmed in Colorado. So he went to one of the locations. It's a motel.
Okay.
That they just they filmed something at, and then they went to cousin Eddie's house.
Oh, okay.
It's a house out, like, way out in the desolate parts of Colorado.
Hmm.
And as they pulled up to it, they didn't film the encounter, but they went up to the door and asked if they could, is it okay if we film the house? This was in the movie and this and that. Apparently, the guy started screaming at him that Chevy Chase doesn't live there. Randy Quaid doesn't live there. He hates the movie. Get off my property. Don't film my house.
Hmm.
So they cut back to the video, and they're explaining all of this. They're like, I don't know, a quarter mile down the road, still filming the house. And you see the guy from a distance get into his truck and like drive all the way to where they are, and they had this like verbal encounter, and
Oh God. Oh, man.
I'm gonna call the cops. And the woo was like, yeah, go ahead. Like, they're gonna laugh when they get here, but go ahead.
I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
Imagine like you lived in the Simpsons house, and every day somebody's driving by to look at the Simpsons.
I'm sure it happens.
Look.
I'm sure it happens. And it's I mean, it'd be no different than anything that was filmed in an actual location. Yeah. People drive by the Scranton, the office all the time.
Right.
I tried to get our friend Heather to drive us up there instead of going straight to Philadelphia.
Oh, right.
But I was like, when you pick us up, can we go to that Scranton thing just so I can see it? We don't even have to stop. Just drive past it.
Apparently, Ginger watched the same video. So yeah, the guy is out there. I missed this video. It was not suggested to me by YouTube. YouTube has failed me. It has not suggested this Adam. But I don't live out in Colorado, so that's probably why they're not like
and
the video from Colorado.
To be honest with you, had it not been Colorado locations, I wouldn't even watch the video. I mean, not to say that I don't like the guy's videos, but I'm just like, I don't need to. Fuck filters. Fuck filters. I don't need to watch a video of a guy describing what's on screen. Well, I'm looking at things. Oh, look, there's a sign. There's a sign over there. Oh, look, there's people putting flowers here.
I actually don't like his videos. I watched his video of Dragon Con, and I'm like, this is bad. Why do you have a following? Like, I really thought that. I'm like, this is not very well done. Why do you have so many people watching your videos? This is awful. Right? Like, there's nothing about this that makes me interested in going to Dragon Con. You're just wandering around taking video of random stuff without having any real purpose. It's like,
just
thanks.
Just like I said, just describing what you can see
in front of you.
Yeah. I like filming locations, so that's there. It's a filming location, and it's here in Colorado. So, yeah, I'm gonna watch that video. There's one he put out at a small amusement park, like the oldest amusement park we have here in the metro area. So I haven't watched it, but I probably will, just because, again, it's a Colorado thing. And speaking of which, it's Colorado Day. It's the birthday of Colorado. It's like 247th birthday or something like that. I don't know. Yeah. Happy birthday to the 303. My home of over 40 years. I have no. Well, yeah, it's a 303/720 now, but that doesn't roll off the tongue as well.
No, and I live in a state too large for me to name every single.
Right. I know San Diego.
Yeah.
I know San Diego. That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rey Mysterio.
Yes, thanks.
Well, because his finishing move is the 619, and he always talks about how he's from San Diego. Like, oh. I guess like 505 is Arizona, because there's that salsa, It's 505 salsa.
Oh, that's I never connected the two. Yes,
I
I
could
know
be
that. I
wrong.
know
I'm
that's
just fucking talking
yeah,
shit, but that might be right.
yeah, maybe.
You know,
Where's like the 303? Um, what is it? What are you guys known for? The Colorado omelet or whatever? Like what? Or
the
Denver omelet?
Denver on, but yeah,
Yeah,
I don't even understand why that is called a Denver omelet because I don't think people love ham that much here.
yeah. Like what? I don't know. Like if something's called a California something, it has avocado in
It
it.
has,
But
yeah.
if something's called a Denver something, what is it? What's in a Denver omelet? Is it just a ham?
I mean, that's why I said on Twitter, like, how do I celebrate? And the only thing that I could think of, there's two things now that I'm thinking about it. One would be to smother everything in green chili because
Right. Yes.
you can
Right.
get
Yeah.
smothered green chili everything in Colorado.
Right.
Um, Rocky Mountain oysters. That would have
Of
been
course.
a
Yeah.
birthday thing for the state, just because that's kind of what one of the things the state is known for.
That's a local delicacy. Totally. Yeah.
Um, I had something else, green chili, and then there was something else, and I can't remember.
Rock-
Meth, I
Rocky
guess.
oysters. Oh. Well, no, meth is everywhere.
I know,
That-
but
that's
yeah,
kinda-
well, that's true. But like, meth and cantaloupes come from the same place here in Colorado.
Using the same ingredients.
Yeah.
Ah.
Colorado meth is actually pretty healthy. It's made organically.
It's part of your 5 a day. Your meth. Yeah. No, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not sure.
All right.
You know what? I think the people that made the Barbie movie were on was meth. That's the worst transition ever.
I mean, look. You're working. You're finding your path. You're finding your journey through the topics, and you only have so many roads you can take. Only so many
Right.
off ramps.
Right.
Meth happened to be the last off ramp. It's not like you could have said, well, cantaloupe.
Right.
Doesn't make sense.
Right.
Yeah.
But I saw Barbie, and
There you go. There you go.
it was ridiculously entertaining.
There you go. I mean, that's
Uh,
probably why it's making so much money. So
Right,
people are
probably.
enjoying that movie.
Will Smith is in it, so I mean, that's polarizing for some people. I realize, but he's
Will
not.
Smith is in it, really?
Not Will Smith.
Are you talking about Will Ferrell?
Will Ferrell.
Look, I don't remember
all
Will Smith
Wills are
being
the
in any of the
same.
promo-
They're all the same. All the Wills are the
Oh.
same. Will Ferrell, he's in it. I thought for a moment, just because I'm a stoner while I was watching it, that MGK was in it for a second, but it was Ryan Gosling the whole time. I was like,
Well,
holy,
like, again,
I was like,
blonde
holy
hair.
shit, this guy he deserves a fucking award. He's a really good actor, this MGK guy. And then I was like, oh,
mean,
wait a
there's-
second. This is Ryan Gosling. He is a good actor.
They're singing, right? They're singing. at
There's some
point,
singing.
so-
It's a very musical movie. It's super colorful. Like if you were on acid, you might have a good time, a really good time.
Oh, there you go.
Not that we would
Not a prerequisite.
not that we
not a
would promote
prerequisite.
that here or anything, but I'm just saying if you did, you might enjoy it. Because the movie is an acid trip.
It is.
It really is. And Ken steals the entire movie. I want the shirt.
The
That-
Knuff shirt.
I'm Knuff.
Knuff.
Yeah, I'm Knuff.
'Cause it's enough
Knuff.
with a K.
Yeah. I want one of those. I think that'd be hilarious.
They are selling them though. They are in pre-sale.
Mm.
So.
The lady, she really wanted to go and do the same thing everybody else is doing, get dressed up.
Oh, yeah.
And I dig this girl a lot. So I went and bought me a pink shirt so I can fit in with the rest of the people that were there. And listeners' mates in the house. And it's funny because there was a whole pack of like I don't know,
Crisps.
middle school age girls in front of us all dressed up for the movie, and they just kept looking back, going like, what the hell? I'm like, I'm here to have a good time. Let's go.
Yeah, as you should for a movie of that caliber.
Yeah, you're not going there to like. That's not a movie you're going in there. It's not Oppenheimer where you're like, okay, this is I'm ready for 3 hours of exposition and the loudest movie I've ever heard.
And then the quietest movie you've ever heard.
And then go from that to just like the most colorful movie I've seen in the last recent.
You say colorful, really is just pink.
There's a lot of bright colors. It is mostly pink. Yes.
I was gonna say, it's not a very rainbowy movie. It's more of
but there's a lot of vivid colors.
Vivid colors. Okay.
Maybe it was the marijuana, but I'm pretty sure it was just vivid. There's some vivid colors going on.
I haven't seen it, so I can't say anything. But from just based on the trailers, I'm like, it's a lot of pink.
It is a lot of pink.
Very pink.
It's a lot of pink. No doubt there. But it's vivid colors. It was visually entertaining. How about that?
Okay.
Did not look down at my watch at any time and go, my watch? Don't own one. My phone and go, is this movie over yet? I'm getting bored. No. I laughed all the way through that movie. Unlike Oppenheimer, where I did look at my phone several times and, not turn the volume down before I do. Oh, there's a police chase going on in your area.
That's not news. That's a typical Tuesday night.
It's near Watts.
Oh, maybe you get to see if you watch it, you might see the Watts Tower, which is its famous landmark, made of rebar. I think all of Watts Tower is just made of rebar.
Why didn't we go see it?
I didn't want to get shot.
I do remember seeing the sign, the exit for Watts. I do remember being like, I saw. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it went Watts then Crenshaw or Crenshaw then Watts. But either way, I saw both exits, and I do remember saying to you, like, "Oh shit, let's go check out South Central," and you're like, "No."
Oh man, I mean, one day when it's bright on a Saturday morning, I'll take you to to South Central and to that area
right
of LA. Totally. I've been there before. I've been to Compton. I've been to all those places for work, especially.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like there's a reason. Inglewood's gotten nicer since they put in the new.
Inglewood.
Always up to no good.
Always up to no good. But even my Inglewood is always up to no good.
But since they put in the new stadium there, the new football stadium there, it's been nice. Like it's been. It's been well. I shouldn't say that. It's been gentrified. So sorry, everybody.
Let's see what his listeners may say. I hear that drag queens are going to see Barbie mainly because they are Barbie girls.
Probably, yeah. Girls is now GURLS is now like the way to say girls. So yes, it's KEWL for sure.
And it's very kawaii.
Very kawaii.
Very kawaii.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm looking.
Anyway, so yeah, good. I'm glad you enjoyed the movie. I'm glad that it had nothing to do with Sound Central or Watts or,
That would actually be a great movie, Barbie and South Central.
Right. Well, I mean, I know what the premise of the film is Barbie going into the real world, so that's part of the real world.
Yeah, but Venice isn't the fucking real world.
Oh, did she go to Venice?
They're in Venice Beach.
Oh. Did they? Never mind. They didn't show the. I can't imagine they showed the real Venice Beach.
They filmed it on the boardwalk.
Oh, okay. Good.
I'm pretty sure. I think they mentioned they're like, "Welcome to Venice."
That'd be great. Yeah, Venice is still iconic. Venice is still has a lot of what do you call it? I mean, it's still like a hot spot for visitors and yeah. So sure.
Because it wasn't. I'm pretty sure it wasn't Santa Monica.
No, you would have seen the pier. They would have totally gone to the pier. Venice has the boardwalk, so you have all of those shops on the side. You have Muscle Beach. You have like all the volleyball nets up. So you have that for Venice. If it was Santa Monica, it would have just been the pier and then the beach.
Right.
You know, because there's nothing else there. I mean, and there's shops and stuff, but there's nothing there like iconic.
Right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Venice. Yeah, it was just fun and ridiculous, and Hasbro and Mattel and all these toy companies are. I think that's going to be the next wave of movies. Is all these toy franchises. You kind of mentioned that too, so I'm kind of stealing what you said, but all these toy franchises are getting a movie. Possible movie deals. You said before we started that Polly Pocket apparently has been greenlit.
They already have forgot who the actress is who's playing Polly Pocket, but yeah, they already have they already have people lined up for actors and actresses for those movies. So yeah,
that's crazy. Like, we're gonna get like a Strawberry Shortcake movie or the Connect 4 movie. Well,
there'll be one.
They already made that movie, but you got to go. Gotta go to the movie rental place and go between the beads.
Oh, oh, nice one. I like that. Good.
Old school reference there.
I can't imagine that a lot of board games, even though they will, I'm sure Shoots and Ladders is going to be made into a movie, or like. I mean, they did make Battleship into a movie. So
they did make Battleship. So, and they did technically make Rockin' Robots. What's the one?
Rock'em Sock'em Robots. No, there's
Rock'em Sock'em. They made that movie. Pacific Rim.
Real Steel. Oh, I think it was Pacific Rim. I think I can say Real Steel.
Oh, no, yeah, Real Steel. Real Steel. No, you're right. Real Steel.
Yes, exactly.
And Guapo. Good to see you. Good to see you, my friend. I didn't watch the Battleship movie. I just kind of figured it'd be a recreation of World War II naval battles.
It's got Liam Neeson in it. I think it has Rihanna. It has some pretty decent actors in a terrible film.
I just don't understand how you dramatize J2 miss.
Well, so
D7 hit.
So when they fight the aliens' weapons look like the pegs. So whenever they shoot their weapons, they look like the white and red pegs that land into the battleships. So, yeah, I know. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
I don't know.
Ouija's definitely gonna be a horror movie. Uno is another movie they're making. That's in development.
I won't even go into a fucking house that people have admittedly played with a Ouija board in.
Well, a Ouija board originally was apparently like it was a board game. Like it was originally a board game, and then urban legend and like households turned it into a spirit thing, like. Light as a feather, stiff as a board, that type of stuff, or say bloody mirror in a mirror.
Right.
Like those things. Ouija was originally just a board game, as a game that you play to find out who like your future husband or wife was going to be. Like that's what it was meant for. It wasn't meant to contact the spirits. It was meant to like be just like a fun little spelling game that people would play to predict your future. So it's really funny that it's now a horror thing. Like,
right.
Oh, scary.
That kind of shit just it freaks me out enough to be like, nope. I mean, Francis, I don't even like going to an intersection that has a crow hanging out like in the intersection.
Crows are smart. I don't trust a crow.
Exactly. What if they set up the trap?
Yeah.
And then you get into a fucking massive car accident. It's because fucking crows are fucking they're evil, man. I'm telling you. Oh, you froze. Wonderful. We probably all froze. But at least the audio keeps going. At least on this side anyway, until he comes back. Looking over my notes, everything else is pretty heavy. Except there's one other thing here, and I'm kind of hoping Francis will pop back in here, and he can join me on this conversation. But this horrible internet I have is causing an issue, and waiting for him to pop back in is taking forever. Holy crap. This is really bad. Hello. Man, I love technology. It's great. He's slowly coming back. Slowly.
I am.
Well, okay. Well, you heard me anyway. So that's good. You haven't heard me for the last 20 or 25 seconds, but it's good.
8 people. Okay, StreamYards is back. Okay, good. I reloaded. You reload. Yeah.
It's so annoying. It's so annoying. This long 99 hours that I worked the last 2 weeks, I really hope that after the couple frivolous things that I plan to do, that I'm just going to do my best to try and fix this fucking internet problem, because I can't handle this.
It'd be nice. It'd be nice if the internet problem was fixed.
It would be
great.
It would be, because fucking ridiculous.
I would love that.
Well, the last thing I have before we get into the heavy thing that I have here, and I can't believe it's already 40-something odd minutes into the show, when we haven't. This has all been bullshit, just bullshitting, and we ate up all this time. It's kind of crazy, but Francis, do you remember Most Extreme Elimination Challenge, or MXC?
Yes, I do.
Do you?
Yeah,
okay.
They were the two guys. I forget their names, but they were the two hosts that were dubbed over for the Japanese.
Yeah, so Vic Romano and Kenny Blankenship.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
So,
I love their name. I can't remember their names. I love their names. Great.
They perfect names, right? The source material, Takeshi's Castle, is what the show was originally taken from. Aired 34 years ago, and it did its thing, and it ran its course, and it went away. It's back
on Spike.
It's not back on Spike. No, it's the Spike thing. MXC is a completely different thing from Takeshi's Castle. Like, they took the footage of Takeshi's Castle and just overdubbed and made their own thing. That MXC has absolutely nothing to do with Takeshi's Castle as a show. They just used it as fodder to have fun. But the actual show, Takeshi's Castle, this new version of it that aired in Japan, I think earlier this year, is now available on Prime. And the guy who would be Vic Romano, to your head, if you need reference, the older of the two guys, is back, and he looks exactly the same. I don't understand. He was an older guy then. He's got to be ancient now, and looks exactly the same.
Wait, do you mean the voice guy, or wait, are you talking about the guy
no,
who does the voice?
The actor, the actors that were on the show on Takeshi's Castle, the actual people.
Oh, on the old Takeshi.
The original show.
Japanese guys, okay.
Yeah, those guys are back. Like the two guys that.
Yeah, I remember them. Yeah.
Right, that were Vic Romano and Kenny Blankenship. Right, those two guys are back. The two actors that were the same two guys before, just not Vic and Kenny. It's source stuff. It's awesome. If you have Prime, check it out, because the show is just as funny as the American version. I think it's just a Japanese, it's Japanese humor. So I mean, it may not land with everybody, but some of the same.
I'm just glad it's back.
It is some of the same games. A lot of the same games are back. They've been modified, obviously, to fit today's safety standards and whatnot. But the first episode showcases two ladies that were on the show 34 years ago, as like
Oh, wow.
late teens, early 20s, and they're back. And one of the girls did it's the MXC version of the show was called Sinkers and Floaters, where they ran across the pond that had the rocks. Some were solid rocks, and some of the rocks were just floating that you'd fall if you land on them. You remember that one?
I remember that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's called Dragon's Pond or something like that in Japanese. And
Okay.
one of the two ladies that was on the show 34 years ago did that. It's the Sinkers and Floaters, and fell halfway through the course, and did it as a 40-something-year-old and fell almost the exact same way in the exact same place. And it was just it's just awesome to see. So definitely highly recommend it. It is, you got to turn your subtitles on though, because it is not dubbed, thankfully.
Yeah, it'll be.
Now, watching it, I can't help but think that Kenny Blankenship and Vic Romano, the voice actors, have to be out there somewhere still. They got to be out there, and I would love to see them take this, because the whole season is available. So I would love to see if they could somehow, get the licensing for it and do MXC again, do a new MXC.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
That would be.
That's really.
And if they don't, maybe
great.
we should.
Oh, sure. I don't know if we need writers though, because I don't think I could be anywhere near as funny as those guys.
I mean, you're a writer. You're in 2 books.
I'm not a. Yeah, that's different. That's different from script writing. I have to.
You did one of those too.
That's true. We'll have to figure this out, but that'd be really fun. I mean, I guess we technically could, right? Yeah, we could just do it on YouTube and become YouTube famous.
There
We're
you
those
go.
guys who did the voices for Fish Castle 2023. It's like
Right. That could be a thing.
One day.
One
Yeah,
day.
you could totally.
One
day.
One day, nothing will compare to you. Now to the heavy stuff. This week's already been pretty heavy, Francis. It's only Tuesday, and I guess it was over the weekend. It was announced that Sineade O'Conner had passed away.
Yeah.
Which was a bummer. She was controversial. She was, fucking had an amazing voice. Had that crazy thing in SNL that got her banned from SNL with the Pope picture getting ripped up and everything. I was fortunate enough to see her perform at Lollapalooza, of all places. But that was the fucking awesome thing about early to mid 90s Lollapalooza, is that you might be on a show with Mighty Mighty Boss Tone, Sineade O'Conner, Cypress Hill, and Smashing Pumpkins. You're like, what what is this? But it was awesome.
Right. One of those concerts. Yeah.
I don't know a lot about the lady outside of the Pope picture getting torn up on Saturday Night Live. Outside of that, and just knowing that she had an awesome voice and continued to just perform forever, it seemed. I don't, if there's any later controversy or anything like that, I don't know anything about that. I just thought she had a beautiful voice, and sucks that early 90s mentality was so against what happened with her, because that kind of shit happens almost daily now, and nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, People do out there
Yeah,
somewhere, but yeah, I think what's, I think the, the the one thing I wanted to get out of this, mentioning it because we were going to mention another passing, but I brought this one up pre-show, is because I'm glad that despite all the stuff that all the controversies surrounding her, that people seem to have a pretty positive remembrance of her in the end,
hmm
which I think is, it's not, that's good. It's nice that uh, someone who was, I kind of shunned from like music, sort of like, 'cause you really didn't hear much from her after like those
hmm
performances,
hmm
right? Maybe she did concerts. I have no idea. Maybe she did something, but you know, she kind of went to the background. But there's like articles here where apparently like Foo Fighters and Alanis Morissette paid tribute to Sinead O'Connor in their latest concert like a couple days ago. So it's like, oh, that's nice.
hmm
Like that, like there's still, there's love for the artist in that respect, so that's good. Um, because that type of that type of I guess blacklisting doesn't always get reversed, right? Sometimes you're just hated for the even after you pass away. So uh, it's good that yeah, cool. Like everyone's fine with her now.
hmm hmm
It's cool. Cool. To hear
Um,
that. Because it's just like this just like the next person. Oh, we're gone again
now
on
I
on
see
Twitch.
it. I see that it went away for a second, but it's there. I see. We're back. We should be
Okay,
there.
because I'm getting there.
Oh, see, then it went to 0 again. So I don't know. This is fucking. This is
But there you
going. This is
go.
going to shit, Francis. So we should just get this stuff out. At least in the audio part, at least we can. Yeah, reconnecting.
Yeah, we'll just
Sorry,
save
everybody
there.
that's watching. My fucking internet is horrible, and it's really starting to piss me off. Um, years later, but it really is starting to piss me off.
Years later.
Um,
It is what it is.
but yeah, that I don't have a whole lot. Again, neither do you, I guess. But I don't have a whole lot with Sinead O'Connor. I mean, it was beautiful lady, beautiful voice, lots of
Well,
controversy.
yeah, I think the only other thing I wanted to make is the connection was she was forgiven, much like this other person was kind of
Hmm.
forgiven for doing something. Which I felt even at the time, I'm like, that's it. That's the big deal. That's why you're all are hating on this one guy for doing something that you kind of naturally would do in that kind of situation,
I would.
right? Like
I mean,
it's kind of,
I mean,
I mean,
yeah. I was gonna say something. I'll just
anyway,
keep it to myself. But
go for it.
no, the big thing yesterday, it was announced that Paul Reubens, aka Pee Wee Herman, died after his apparent 6-year fight with cancer, silent fight with cancer.
Yep, 6.
Um, from
Norman
all,
McDonald did the same thing. He fought
yeah,
with cancer too, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
from all accounts, from the actors that are out there, some that I actually know, friends of the family type peoples, um, never forgot a birthday card, a Christmas card, super
Oh,
kind person. I actually wanted to start the whole show by saying it because I didn't know which direction we were going to go right away. But today's secret word is the only thing I can think of is thank you, because Pee Wee Herman was fucking awesome. Uh, the Pee Wee's Big Adventure, huge part of growing up. I watched that movie a lot. Movie is ridiculously fun. Always wanted to go check out the basement of the Alamo. I really, for real, wanted to go check out those dinosaurs. I thought those big metallic dinosaur things, is like still one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
yeah.
And
They're much more impressive in person.
I'm sure they are. I bet you if you go, I'd love to watch the sunrise in the mouth of a T-Rex. That'd be amazing.
Next time you're here, I'll just take you to Calabasas. It's like right there. Like it's so close. It's only an hour drive from where I am. We can go ahead and see the dinosaurs. Those are cool. There's a Burger King like right beside it.
That's funny.
So if you ever get hungry, you can have some Burger King.
Have a Burger
right
King.
by
Go
the
sit in the dino. That'd be rad.
Yeah.
While looking things up about Paul Reubens, because outside of being Pee Wee, I didn't really know much about where the character came from or anything like that. So just kind of looking it up, I knew that he was part of the improv group, the Groundlings, which is like where I think the same class, not Norm Macdonald. Come on, Phil Hartman was in. Probably Norm Macdonald, I bet. Probably the same group of comedians. And the character he came up, the exercise that evening was come up with a character that would never make it as a stand-up. And he took inspiration from some character that he had seen in his childhood and just went with it with this childlike behavior, and the iconic laugh was there right away apparently, and he borrowed the suit from the guy that owned the Groundlings, like the company, borrowed the bow tie from somebody and just went with it. And that was in 1977, so the year I was born. That was when the character popped up. It wasn't until I was older where I saw him in Cheech and Chong movies. Mm-hmm. There's I think it's Nice Dreams, where it's him and some lady are there, and they're just he's a huge cokehead in the movie, and I was just like, this is probably right on point with the character at the time of, it was 1980 something. Cocaine was a thing in the 80s, so he probably wasn't acting. He was just probably being himself. But
yeah, maybe.
He was both in Nice Dreams and Cheech and Chong's next movie. You should go check them both out, because he plays a bellhop or a desk clerk at a hotel in Nice Dreams. No, in next movie, doesn't matter. He's a clerk in one of the two of them, and then like a drug addict in the other. But hilarious. The thing about the voiceovers that kind of just got me even as a kid at the end of Pee-wee's Big Adventure, where he plays a bellhop, and they voice over his Pee-wee's voice, and it's calling Dr. whatever, Mr. Herman.
Oh, it was paging Mr. Herman, yeah.
Paging Mr. Herman. It's so hilarious that they were like, no, we're not even going to use your voice. We'll put you in the movie. We're not using your voice. All that shit. He's awesome. He was awesome. He was on WWE, I think F and E over the years. One of the big things, I guess, it was in the mid 80s. He hosted SNL as Pee Wee Herman and just stole the show. Phil Hartman helped write a skit for that show, which helped get Phil Hartman on SNL. This is all stuff that I saw on the internet, so I don't know if it's true or not. Mm-hmm. Phil Hartman was part of Pee Wee's Playhouse, which I didn't know started off as like a stage show. So HBO ended up picking it up in 87 as like a 1 hour special. And that kind of helped boost everything for him to have the TV show. And he was super sexual, apparently, originally. Lived through innuendo through the television show and movies and whatnot, but like it was toned down, apparently. 1986 is when the show started. and I loved it. The show was awesome. Go back and watch some of those Penny cartoons. They were great. The robot freaked me out. Are you frozen again? No? Okay, you are kind of.
I can hear you.
That's good. Did you ever watch the show?
I did. I watched it every Saturday morning, actually. I think it was a Saturday morning thing,
Mm-hmm.
and I watched it regularly. I I was very familiar with Mecha Like a High, Mecha Heiny Ho, and things like that. Like, I was very familiar with those, you know, yeah, with like the word of the day and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was very familiar with it, you know.
The first year of Philly Comic Con, the genie was actually there, and he was supposed to have a panel,
yeah.
and I was supposed to be moderating that panel. And when it came time to do it, nobody knew anything. The convention didn't realize that there was one, even though they told us there was one. He didn't realize there was one, even though I told him the day before. But it was cool because when I walked up to his table, he hit me with the Mecha Like a High, Mecha Heiny Ho, and I was just like, "This is awesome." I didn't even ask you to have to do it. You just did it.
Mm-hmm.
Pee Wee's Playhouse also had a Christmas special. I do remember that. I think there was a Thanksgiving skit on the SNL that the Phil Hartman helped write. But if I'm not mistaken, Lawrence Fishburne was on the television show as Cowboy Curtis.
It was. Yep.
Which helped him, I guess, in his early Hollywood career. To kind of tie in with 90s controversy to share with Sineade O'Conner is that in 91, as you alluded to, Francis, Paul Reubens was arrested in a adult theater for jerking off. The same thing the other 20 people in the theater were doing at the same time. But he was Paul Reubens. He wasn't dressed as fucking Pee Wee. Go back and look at I wish I had the mugshot. Go back and look at the mugshot.
Oh yeah.
It barely. It looks closer to Nicolas Cage than it does Pee Wee Herman. I haven't seen the mugshot in 20 years, so I could be way off. But I'm just saying. And I keep saying 20 years. That's 2000 something. So 2000, yeah, 30 years. Damn it, I'm old. So yeah, this one, much like, I mean, the last celebrity passing that, like, you know, I wouldn't say affected me, but I was just like, oh, that really sucks. Adam West and Robin Williams.
Oh yeah.
Would be the two prior to that. Robin Williams, I mean, we as the Points of Interest family at the time, we all got together that day to talk about Robin Williams for like 3 hours. Mm-hmm. Adam West, you know, that one hurt just because I love the old Batman television show. Sure. Huge part of the younger years of me.
Right, very influential.
Well, yeah, you know, I know how to do the dance. But Pee Wee, not to say that it was influential, but again, like you, I was watching it on Saturday mornings. I never missed it. I loved it. You had a choice. You can either watch Pee Wee or watch Turtles on the other channel or whatever else was on. You know, you had to make a choice. There was no DVR. And I chose Pee Wee because I knew I was going to have
action.
Yeah. And the secret word of the day, and this internet sucks. It keeps dying over and over again. This one's gonna be a rough one. You know, I know he hasn't done a lot as Pee Wee recently, but at Galaxy's Edge. Rex, the DJ, that's Pee Wee Herman.
Right. Yeah.
Originally, it was Pee Wee as Rex, the pilot. And then apparently that he lost his pilot license after the redo of Star Tours and became a DJ.
Yeah. I'm glad they kept them. I'm glad they kept.
Yeah, I'm totally, and they kept the same actor doing the voice. You know what I'm saying? Instead of having somebody else come in and do it. A lot of voice work. Paul Reubens did a lot of cartoon stuff. The one of my favorite movies as a kid, Flight of the Navigator. He plays the alien spaceship. Voices the alien spaceship. And that's a super cute and fun movie. And crazy special effects that still hold up to today. Go back and watch it. Although they have talked about redoing that movie too.
Oh yeah.
Which I don't understand why. Stop fucking with good stuff. But yeah, it's funny that as the biggest truck in the world drives by. It's funny that the controversy from 91 stuck with him for a while. For a long while. And I think it you didn't see him do anything as Pee Wee for years after that. And then even just recently, like in the last 5 or 6 years, he's been all over the internet as Pee Wee, just living it up as Pee Wee.
And now we know he was doing it while he was suffering with cancer. So that's the craziest part. Was like he was really, I think he really wanted to cement his legacy, knowing that he only had like a set amount of time to live. So he wanted to cement his legacy as Pee Wee. It's unfortunate that it isn't until somebody dies that you get to see kind of the cool behind the scenes stuff, because that's when you start remembering, like truly remembering an actor. Like, you're talking about the Phil Hartman stuff. There's something on Twitter right now that I was watching earlier with Pee Wee and Phil as a pirate doing a live show, like a live stage show with Paul as Pee Wee. And it was good. Like, it was really interesting, the kind of comedy that they used.
Watching that might make me cry tonight.
Yeah, it was really
just because Phil was so fucking good.
Yeah,
he was so good.
Yeah. It's just two icons that have passed too early. Doing a show live in front of an audience that's genuinely laughing, that's finding it funny. It's a lot. Yeah, it's an hour long. But I think it's worth seeking out if you can on.
Oh, one thing I'll definitely be seeking out is trying to find somebody that put all the Pee Wee's Playhouse on YouTube. I'm sure somebody out there has done it. And you're frozen again. All right. We're waiting for you to come back from being frozen, and then we're going to go home for the end of this show, because this internet thing is just ridiculous, and there's no reason for us to have to deal with such crap all the time. Are you there?
Well, I'm here.
All right. So, look, no disrespect to Paul Reubens or Sineade O'Conner or Pee Wee, but this fucking internet is, I'm done. So, rest in peace, everybody. Watch the movies. Not everybody. Well, not everybody. Sineade and Paul Reubens. Rest in peace to you guys. Thank you for everything. Like I said, the secret word is thank you, because I'm gonna go watch some Pee Wee. Yeah, I do that. It's funny because people that you'll be in a conversation with somebody, and they'll say the same thing, same word, like 5 or 6 times. Every time they start a sentence or they use it often.
Oh, yeah.
I will start secret wording it. Every time they use it, I'll just be sitting across from them, and I'll go full Kermit, just every time. Yeah. We need, what was the robot called? We need one of those robots, even though that robot freaked me out.
Yeah, I don't remember. I know what you're talking about, though.
But yeah, Cherry. Cherry and Terry, and with the little Brooklyn kid. Remember the little Brooklyn, the little puppet?
I loved that everything like was alive in that house.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, his last words to the final episode of Pee Wee's Playhouse is Pee Wee's Playhouse will always be there for you.
Mm.
And you have my word, and word was the secret word of the day.
Oh.
Okay, so
I've had so much of this. This should not happen like this. I am so irritated with technology right now. So that being all said, I'm like, Francis, your picture that's frozen on looks like you're giving everybody a kissy face. The audio portion of this is just oh, it's totally dead. Everything is dead. All right, well, disconnected. Wait, no, you're back, kind of. But we're finishing this show because I've had enough. Nope, it's totally done. No, it's kind of back. It's totally done. I don't know. Francis, if you're there, if you can hear me, say the things you need to say.
I mean, I don't know if you can hear me.
I can.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, good. Hey, look. AKA the other guy, Twitter, Instagram, sinceresarcasm.net, and supergeekedup.com for Wednesday live shows. Go.
See, you can't even get that out because the internet sucks. Everybody, it's all scrolling across the top of the screen. You hear me every week say this. Go, just follow 303_ninja. Look up POI Podcast. It's all there. We'll be back next week, hopefully with better internet. I've had enough. Goodbye.